Well, first off, you have to restore to yourself the nothingness which you are. You have to restore to yourself the emptiness and the meaninglessness of this very enticing thunderstorm which you are. Now you'll notice I haven't changed anything about the inauthenticity which we are. I'm simply showing that being authentic about our own inauthenticity opens like a question in a very natural way the possibility of being for human beings. And without the foundation of being authentic about our own inauthenticity, the question is just another clever dodge in the issue of our survival. Even if you restore the distinctions, so that when life is a concept, it can show up for you like a concept. And when life is present, it can show up for you like a presence, and you have a distinction between the two so that they can show up as they are. Even then, there's no being here. You notice the rest of the board is blank, because there isn't anything there. And if anything is to be there, it will have to be there as an act of existential courage. That is to say, as an act without any basis, without any propping, without any support, without any rationalization, justification, or explanation. Something like what Weber's talking about when he says, "Here I stand." Now, for those of you who think that what I'm saying is some kind of mystical hocus pocus, I want to be clear with you that it is not. That this is rigorous and accountable, in that a domain of being predicated on nothing would demonstrate its validity in the actions which were derived from it and in the alteration of the circumstances which those actions provide. By the same token, if you're thinking that I'm saying that being can be evidenced, it cannot. There is neither a predicate for nor evidence of being. Being, capital B, or more rigorously, the possibility of being for human beings could be said, being like a possibility, being as itself, not being like a presence, not being like a concept, but being as itself, could be said to be the stand that I am, the stand I take. Being, like the possibility of being, could be said to be the stand that I am, the stand I take. In other words, the possibility of being at all, whereby being we mean possibility, so I know this is hard, but to say it accurately, the possibility of possibility, not the possibility of an option, not something derivative, not in the set to which you are already resigned, not to that which is using you, but the possibility of a possibility, not an option, Not a strategy, not a new maneuver, not a change, not a change. No, not a change. But a possibility. The possibility of possibility is a product of taking a stand for the possibility of being the stand you take. Where the stand which you are is a clearing for that for which you stand. Okay, we started out by talking about you. That you are the I, and I think, I feel, I believe, and I suggested to you that out on the banks of the Potomac at 3 o'clock in the morning on a clear night, if you look up, you'll see what concern the universe has for the you which you are, that you are. And in a very subtle way, I invited you to the possibility of yourself as emptiness and meaninglessness, in which possibility, if you engage it authentically, you begin to see that empty and meaningless is also a clearing for. Maybe you aren't that which is pointed to in the phrase, I like, I want, I think. Maybe you're the kind of nothing, the kind of empty, the kind of meaninglessness, the kind of not going anywhere, the kind of emptiness and meaninglessness which is a clearing for life to show up in like a possibility, like something from nothing. Yes, against the background of culture and practices and languaging, certainly always against that background. I'm inviting you to consider the possibility of being as the possibility of taking a stand for your being the stand that you take. I'm inviting you to stand in the possibility that your life could be lived into possibility, like into the stand which you are, where the stand becomes a clearing, an opening, a freedom, a possibility for that for which you stand. Rather than living into the options of the vicious circle. Now you'll notice that I won't get very far in this. Again, I said a taste. But a taste is enough. The invitation here is to live in the question, what is the possibility for being for human beings? Not like a way to survive, but like an opening, like a possibility. See, I'm afraid that you keep listening possibility like option. I'm talking about outside the 9 dots. I'm talking about outside the options which are using us, while being authentic about being used by those options. I'm inviting you to create a question into which to live your life. I say people live their lives into that vicious circle. They live their lives into their past.